Alright, welcome guys. So again, this is AMA with Jess D Cosplay, and for the most part, I just talk about cosplay unless you guys come up with questions. Last time, you guys may have seen the issue with Niantic and how a lot of people in the cosplay community, we also play Pokemon Go, and how sorry guys, a lot of people have been upset with Niantic decreasing the distance of the spin radius. So as of right now, many people are still not spending money on Niantic, waiting to see what they're going to decide on September 1st. However, because, as we told Niantic, the pandemic isn't even over, they have reinstated the increased distance in New Zealand. However, us in the US, well, they don't seem to care that the pandemic's getting worse here yet. We are still with the reduced radius, and thus most of us are still, or many of us, I shouldn't say most, many of us are still not spending money, not playing as much until we hear back from them. So that's an update on that. Otherwise, the big thing that's going on in the cosplay community right now is the fact that cons are now requiring the COVID-19 vaccine. And I know a lot of people this is a very controversial topic, and some people are anti-vax, some people are pro-vax, but they are uncomfortable with getting a vaccine that has not been fully approved by the FDA. So there has definitely been a lot of controversy with this. So at least here in New York, we have what the mayor, governor is, not sure who is implementing, but it's basically a passport to New York program, which they're basically mandating anything that is not required. So like indoor dining, events and things like that, gyms and things like that, you have to have a COVID vaccine, proof of a COVID vaccine. So at least for New York City, we have the Excelsior Pass, which we can screenshot our card and it has our data in the system, so we just have to show it on our phone. But a lot of people are upset about this because they feel like they're being forced to get the vaccine. Whether that's true or not, at least in my opinion, as long as, once it's FDA approved, we have mandated vaccines all the time. And so it's not going to be unusual. I wouldn't be surprised if once it's FDA approved that it becomes one of the mandated vaccines for going to school and government jobs. Right now, most government jobs have to either have, which I do work, have to have either the vaccine or you have to get tested weekly, as of my understanding, on your own time. Again, they're trying to encourage as many people to get the vaccine as possible. What does this mean? Well, for us, conventions. I don't know if it's for all conventions, but definitely for indoor conventions, you must have the COVID-19 vaccine to attend at this point in New York City. So this means Big Apple Con, Brooklyn Comic Con, New York City Comic Con. All of them have already updated their policy that says you cannot attend if you are not vaccinated. I've actually had a friend who was supposed to come visit. Her choice is not to get the vaccine. That's her choice, but once I told her, I was like, look, you won't be able to do anything in New York City, she decided not to come. Why spend all that money when you can't go anywhere? Again, choices do have consequences, and in this case, we can't, if you choose not to get vaccinated, you cannot attend events like conventions. It is your right to choose. Unfortunately, this is a global pandemic, and it is affecting us worldwide, and is not going away anytime soon, as we can see with the new Delta variant and all the things that, come with it. It hits children harder, which, as many of us cosplayers know, children are a big part of our community. We see them all the time at conventions. If you live in a city, we get to those conventions on public transit. So, again, it is important that we keep in mind, even for cities where they aren't mandating the vaccine for the conventions, that you should mask up still. Protect yourselves, protect your family members, and such like that. So,
Alexa, stop. Stop.
1 second.
Alexa, stop.
Sorry, our Alexa app was being silly. Anyway, it is something that we now need to consider in regards to going to conventions. I have friends who literally got the vaccine once conventions started requiring it. It is a thing. As for the debate about whether this is fair, I think we all have to remember that public safety is a concern at this point, and going to a convention is a privilege, not a right. Privileges can be taken away based on as a consequence as choices we make. So remember, there's always a cause and effect. Our choices affect where we go on this. So in this case, if we choose to get the vaccine, the effect is we are allowed to attend these events. If we choose not to, the effect is that we get to have our own bodily autonomy, but the consequence is we can't go to as many events. So just something to consider if you are on the borderline for getting the COVID vaccine. As a cosplayer or part of the cosplay community, this is something that is, as of like the last month, become a big issue with the conventions. Many, if not most of them, are requiring the COVID vaccine. If I did get it, so if any of you want to know more about my experience with it, feel free to send me a private message. I'm happy to discuss it if you want to know more about it and the effects I had. But everybody has the right to make their own decisions. At least until it's FDA approved and they decide whether they're going to mandate it or not. At that point, it's not really a choice anymore, as the public mandate would be probably for public safety, as this is a highly contagious disease. So that was the biggest update, I think, in the cosplay community. Unfortunately, we are seeing events start to be canceled again as the Delta variant goes and spreads more quickly. It's more aggressive, unfortunately. I highly recommend that if you are going to go to a cosplay event or convention, that you consider at least making sure you're masked up, especially if you're indoors, and even if you're outdoors, know who's around you. Outdoor events are safer in general, as the air, it disperses more quickly, but it is not impossible. Otherwise, the weather is going to start getting cooler now. So fall is a really pretty time to cosplay outside. Get some really pretty pictures with the changing leaves. It was one of my favorite times to cosplay because it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. So I was very comfortable in my costumes. Unfortunately this summer, due to health reasons, I haven't been able to cosplay that much, but it happens. Hopefully those all get resolved soon, and I'll be, by the time hopefully COVID does its thing, and I'll be back to attending more conventions more regularly and cosplay meetups. I'm hoping for those in the New York City area to possibly hold a meetup in October for Halloween, since it actually falls on a Saturday this year. However, that will depend on the current pandemic situation and, well, how I feel. So, and the weather, of course, because you can have nice days in October, but it can get pretty cold. So, we might be breaking out some winter costumes back then. Alright, so other updates. Just trying to think. There are still a bunch of virtual cons going on. I know the New York City International Cosplay Day was changed to online because of the pandemic situation. More things are going back online as things shift. And remember that though it may not be the same, this is a way to still engage in our community, and it's better than nothing. I think I did a cosplay contest for the Brooklyn Public Library, and I ended up with a $50 gift card for entering. They never actually they haven't yet posted the actual rankings, but I did, I guess, do well enough in the adult section that I got the gift card. Hopefully, that was back a while ago, like when the school year was going and the next school year's about to start. So if I find out the actual results of that, I'll share it with you guys. I was really happy that I, placed, and, they liked it enough. I entered on a whim. Actually, it wasn't even a cosplay friend who introduced the contest to me. It was a coworker of mine who happened to knew I was interested in these things. Saw it, said, "Oh, your kid, maybe some of your students will like this," and I realized they had an adult section and I entered. Oh well, all good. But it is what it is. But my point is that you can still do stuff with the online world. Who knows, maybe I will hold a cosplay contest or something. We'll see. I have to discuss that with the husband. But anyway, the point is, remember that there are online ways to participate in the community, and you can go outside as much as possible. Right now, the parks have been very crowded, but as the weather gets cooler, not that people are the biggest fans of going outside when it's cold, but you will have more space and more things to safely organize then. Alright, let's see if I can think of any other updates. Cosplay. Right now. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I've been focusing more on reading lately than anything. But, yeah. Streaming once in a while. It's actually haven't been able to stream much lately because of just lots of things going on. I wasn't even going to be able to do International Cosplay Day, which is the 28th this month, because I had a wedding for a cosplay friend of mine is actually getting married. So there is that. So yeah, that's pretty much the updates here. Otherwise, if you guys have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Actually, one second. I know what we can do. Hello, kitty cats. As adorable as you are not what I am seeking at the moment. Alright. So, otherwise, since I don't have anything specific, I think I went through the updates, the Pokemon Go issue, the changes in the cosplay community, just making sure you can still see me. So, yeah. There is one thing. I know some of you guys have seen them on my page before, but Let me put this over here so that I can see. These are actually my old sets, but these make amazing cosplay accents. So you'll see that this one is like, I think, the agate from, and again, these are Color Street. I can put the link to my stylist in in the comments, but these are amazing. Okay, they make excellent additions to cosplay. Like, I use this one with a dress that I wore for my student's graduation. This one is one of my favorites. Unfortunately, it is currently a retired set. I hope they bring it back at one point, but bloody gorgeous. It is an amazing set for vampires and things like that. They also have like holiday sets, so you got like Halloween, Christmas here. Just two cameras here, sorry guys. So those are nice for wearing things. And I will definitely put, I got like some mermaid stuff and coral reef or coral bay, which are great for the beach or any beach cosplays. I used these, I don't know if I posted, I should post them. Maybe I'll do that next time. But I used these red and white strips to make Pokeballs for Pokemon Go Fest. I don't think I shared those, so I will definitely have to do that. But as you can see, there's so much you can do with, and these are just my old sets, so they're actually harder to put on. But there's so much you guys can do with these sets for cosplay. So here's like, I think, Tokyo lights. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me move this, see if I can get you guys more centered. This is just a great accent overall. Your Magica girls, your things. Elsa, anyone? Excellent for Elsa. If we're speaking Frozen, something white for a snowman. But again, my point is, these make really cool accents that you can, you know, have fun with, you can play around with, and, you know, make some really cool characters with it. I've had a lot of fun with them. They last a long time. Like, it's usually, like they say, 10 days-ish. I get them for a couple weeks. In fact, I have so many other sets because they last so long and I just keep buying them. So I will definitely put the link in the comments for you guys. In fact, it is dangerous for me to get on here because if I do, then I am likely to want to buy something. Let's not do that. Because I already have too many sets and I need to use them. Maybe I will, if I do the cosplay contest, I will have them as prizes. Because I love them and they are gorgeous. Not just some of their names. Alright. Let me see. I promised you guys I would do it with the nail bar. Well, I will make sure I get that link for you guys, but these make amazing accents, and just, you know, when you're cosplaying, those little touches, those little, like, props or accessories, they really make a costume pop. And so that's why I really like these, because there's so much you can do, like Magical Girls or Valentine's Day, anybody? And again, these are just the sets that I've used. I've got some, not from Color Street, though Color Street is definitely by far the best ones that I've used. Some for Harry Potter, I've got seasonal ones, like I said. I've got, there were some for Easter. There was disco. There were all sorts of colors and stuff. They have lots of themes. So like this agate was part of this purple agate was part of the rock ones. They had turquoise, rose quartz, agate, and I forget the last one. This one just happened to match the dress I was wearing at the time for my students' graduation. So again, I will definitely put that in the links for you guys. I just want to make sure I give you guys the correct link so that you guys can do it. They have these, again, I spend way too much money on these, but they have really cool sets. Oh, there's a comment. Hey Holly, I haven't heard from you in ages. I hope you're well. And yes, I know you're not a cosplayer, but hey, if you're ever interested, let me know. Happy to get you started, but that's okay if it's not your thing. But thank you. I've been really lucky to work with some really amazing photographers who just made this messy, you know, blotchy face look amazing and way prettier than I actually am. Not that I'm not pretty, but we're all pretty in our own way. But they do a good job making me even look more fantastic. But again, guys, if you can find the right cosplayer, they are amazing. And yes, Holly, I don't know if you have a good stylist, but I love my stylist. She's a sweetheart. If you're interested in Color Street, it is amazing. Anyway, I just bring these up again because I was thinking about doing my own nails today, so I might get off and do this. Maybe next AMA I'll do it in person while we talk. I didn't quite get started soon enough, and if I'm going to show you guys, I'd rather you guys see the whole process. And these are old sets, so these are a lot harder to put on because they're old and dry, and I just don't want to throw them away. But that's the nice thing. It's like with a proper top coat, and like this is important, you have to get the right top coat. I think I use Oppie, but certain top coats will mix badly with these and make it bubble. So definitely talk to the stylist if you already have a top coat to see what they recommend. I just bought what my stylist recommended, but they make an amazing addition to your costumes. I'm most likely going to be doing I received the costume. Haven't gotten any good pictures of it yet, but the Princess Anna from Frozen 2 next. I know a lot of people were hoping I would do Aqua, but I had a little girl who, not mine, but little girl in the family who really, really likes Frozen, a couple of them actually. And so I kind of was like, well, I was thinking about getting this costume anyway. So she was new to the family, like my sister's new partner, and you know, I wanted to feel welcoming, and so I brought the costume and we had a grand old time. I have some tweaks to make. It was the first time. It's a very heavy, well done costume. I'll definitely be writing a review at some point. But yeah. So again, thank you guys always for your support, for like all my friends and cosplayers, photographers, family, whoever's here. I always appreciate that you guys are always so welcoming. Keep up the great work. Hope you guys are doing well, and again, feel free to reach out with any questions. I'm always happy to answer, do the best that I can, and go from there. If you ever have any suggestions on a topic, cosplay topic you'd like me to cover in AMA, don't hesitate to shoot me a PM. And as I said before, for those of you on the fence about the vaccine and want to know more about my experience, feel free to send me a private message, and I'm happy to discuss it with you and help you get some facts. Anyway, thank you as always, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, guys.